In this video, I'm going to show you how to use entity actions. So in this scene, I have two buttons lying here in 3D, and I want to click this button and turn off these lights, and I want to click on this button and pause this video. So this is a video applied to a mesh, and one particular way is it's excluded from the master timeline, so I can use the entity actions to control it correctly. So the first thing I'm going to do is to click on the button, and we see this actions section here. I will add an action, and I will choose the hide entity action because the lights are showing. I want to hide them, so I'll select the hide entity, and we can see that the selected entity is always himself, so it's always the entity itself. I will remove it, and I will select the lights which are here. So I'll select both lights, so I can select multiple entities to hide, and I will apply. So I will save, I will preview, and if I click the button, you see that the lights go off. But I want to click again, and I want to toggle the lights again. So for that, we have this option on the action itself. So we have the toggle action checkbox, which will toggle between the original state and the new state. So I will check this box, and I will click apply, save, and if I click the button and click it again, you see that the lights are toggling. But I want to toggle the icon as well. So for that, I will add another action in the same button, and there is a more flexible action that I could do the same with this identity action, but the change entity property action is a more advanced and more flexible action, which allows me to change any kind of property that is available from the current state to the new state. In this case, visibilities, transforms. You can change almost any state that is compatible to change on this on the selected entity. In this case, I will remove the default one, and I will select the icon that lives inside this button, and I will go to the GUI properties, and you see that the current state is the eye off icon. I will search for the eye icon, which is this one. I won't change any other properties, so I'll click apply and save. And if I click the icon, the button, you see that the icon is changing. But again, I forgot to toggle the action, so I'll go to the toggle action checkbox, apply, and you can see that the icon now changes with the click as well. So the same for the video, almost the same logic. So we will select the play button, go to the add action of the play button, and if you notice on the different section, which is called entity media, we see that we have this kind of shortcut actions, which we could always use the change entity property, but these are like easier to use actions, but you could do the same with the change entity property action. And in this case, I want to pause the video because it's playing, and I will select the video. In this case, it's the video yellow, and I will toggle the action as well. I will click and do the same for the icon, which then I need the change entity property action. So I will select the icon, go to the GUI, and select the play icon, and apply. And you can see the same happens. I forgot to toggle the icon, but I also forgot to adjust the padding, like let's say it like this, the left position on the icon, because some icons have different widths and sizes, so it's normal to have this effect. So what we can do is to go to the change entity property. I'll remember to toggle the action checkbox, and I will go to the different more advanced properties, and I want to add 2 pixels in the left whenever I click the button, because I want the play icon to be 2 pixels to the left. In this case, I'll save and preview, and you can see that now the play icon is more centered in the button. So whenever I click, you see that it pauses and plays the video as well. One other action that is also useful, for example, let's imagine that the user interacted with the scene and it toggled off the lights. But you want the user, when it comes back to the scene, it resets or goes to the original state again. For example, that happens when I go to the next scene. For example, it's another scene, and if I come back to the scene again, you see that the lights are turned on again. If I want this state of lights switched off toggled permanently, even switching scenes, there's also a property for that. So I will go to the actions, to each action. So for example, in the ID entity action, we see that we see this checkbox that we want to prevent reset on scene exit. So we want to leave it as the user did. So I will toggle this checkbox, and the same on the icon as well. I will apply and save. And for example, if I turned it off and change scenes, you see that it's still toggled off. And if you need more complex logics, you could use the reset entity properties in different contexts or different situations that you want these lights to be toggled. For example, you could use specifically a reset entity properties action, which will do a reset to the original state. Sometimes you want to have more control on that. And the trigger entity action, it's not that useful. Sometimes we had situations that we have to use this, but the trigger entity actions, it will even imagine that you have another button and you click that button and that button as a trigger entity, and you can trigger another entity action when you click other button. So sometimes you also might need this as well. The instantiate prefab, it's another tutorial, and I guess the other ones are pretty obvious actions to do. So I guess that's it. I hope you understood, and see you on the next